Hi, geometry. Alright, I'm making this video now to work through a few IXL problems with you from my kitchen to get you started on these IXL skills that you have for your digital assignments. So the first one I'm going to do is U12. Alright, so this was my first problem that came up on U12. So looking at this, let's always see what I'm trying to figure out first. I'm trying to find the measure of arc BC. So let me go ahead and highlight arc BC. I'll do the best I can. My drawing has not improved since I've been home for digital learning. Alright, so if I'm trying to find arc BC, let's look and see what we can figure out just by looking at the problem. So they've given us, and I'll try and stick with the colors that they use, they've given us an inscribed angle, right? So this angle right here can actually tell us what the length of this entire arc is from A to C. How do I know what that arc is? I know the inscribed angle multiplied by 2 gives me the arc. So let's figure out what arc A to C is. So I'm going to go to Desmos, and I'm going to do 115 times 2, so 230. Oh no, I lost all my drawings. Okay, so I know that A to C is 230 degrees. Alright, if I'm trying to find B to C, this piece right here, I can figure that out by taking 230 and subtracting AB out of it. So if I take 230 and subtract 122, that's going to give me arc BC. So I'm going to do 230, the total arc, minus this piece right here, 122, which will give me my missing arc. So 230 minus 122. 230 minus 122 gives me 108. Let's put it in. All right. Okay, this is the same type of problem. We're trying to find this arc, BC, over here. And they give me an inscribed angle, ADB, so I can use that inscribed angle rule to figure out the entire arc. So from arc B all the way to D, BD, because this inscribed angle intercepts this big arc. So I know that BD is going to be 122 times 2. So let's go back over to Desmos. 122 times 2 gives me 244. And again, I lost my whole arc, but I know from B to D is 244 degrees. Okay, so if I'm trying to find BC, and I know that from B to D is 244, and C to D is 93, I can subtract, right? I have the entire arc of BD, and I have this piece of it. So if I want the missing piece over here, I'm going to do 244 minus 93. So 244 minus 93, which gives me 151. That should be my arc BC, 151. Boom! Okay, this one looks like a complicated question, but it's really not, because what it is it's testing us to see if we know what a whole circle is. A whole circle measures 360 degrees. So what it does is it gives us 3 measurements, right? It gives us 149, it gives us 47, and it gives us 105. And we're left to find out what arc CD is. Well, I have every single part of the circle except for CD. So I know that CD, oh man, I was trying to draw an X. Let me erase that. Oop, it erased everything. All right, so if I'm trying to find what this measure is right here, I know that 149 plus 47 plus 105 plus X has to all add up to 360, which means I can do 360 minus each of these measurements, and that will give me CD. So I'm going to use the calculator on my phone, which you can't see me doing right now, and I'm going to do 360 minus 149 minus 47 minus 105, and I get 59. And I know what you're saying, Miss Lucas, couldn't I also add up these three numbers and subtract their sum from 360? Yeah, you can do that too. You should get the same number, 59. Which is correct. I am brilliant. All right. Things just got real with this question. So all it is it's adding a few more steps. So it's just going to take us a little bit longer, but we're geometry geniuses. We got this. So we're trying to find the measure of angle D. All right. So I need to know angle D. All right, looking at this, I can tell that angle D is an inscribed angle. And the arc that it intercepts is from A to C. So I could easily figure out what angle D is if I knew what arc AB was, right? If I knew arc AB, I could add these two arcs together and then divide it by 2. Okay, I accidentally lost my drawing again, but let me go ahead and put it back on there. So we know we are trying to find arc D, or I'm sorry, angle D. And if we knew what arc AB was, we could add it to 115 and divide by 2 to get that angle. Unfortunately, we don't know what it is. We are here to find out. So we have another inscribed angle right here, angle A. So angle A is an inscribed angle that intercepts arc B, C, D. This whole thing right here. So we can figure out what the red arc is by multiplying that inscribed angle by 2. So let's do 129 times 2 in your calculator. 129 times 2. You should get 258. Now you're saying, Ms. Lucas, why are we doing this? This doesn't help find AB. It does, and let me show you how. The whole entire circle is 360 degrees, right? So I know that every single piece of this arc should add up to 360 degrees. Well, I know that from D to B is 258. And I know that from A to D right here is 53. So that leaves one piece left on my arc, and that's AB. Because the entire thing should add up to 360, right? So if I have this red piece is 258, and if I have A to D right here is 53, well then I can back into what AB should be. So I do that by doing this calculation over here. So on my phone calculator, I'm going to do 360 minus 258 minus 53, and that's going to give me 49. So now I know what AB is. I want to change the color, but for some reason I cannot. Alright, so AB is 49. Oh, I did change the color. Alright, I'm still trying to figure this out. Alright, so if AB is 49, now I can start working on my calculations for angle D. Alright, we said angle D was inscribed, and the arc that it intercepts is 49 plus 115. So I want you to add these two numbers together, and that will give you the intercepted arc. 49 plus 115. That gives me 164. So now I can just apply my inscribed angle rule. The inscribed angle is half of the arc. I know the arc is 164. So 164 divided by 2 will give me my angle D. So go ahead and do that in your calculator, and that should give you 82. 82. All right. All right, here's another multi-step problem. But again, you guys can figure this out if you just look at the information that you have in the circle and just play around with it. So looking at it, I can see that I have two inscribed angles, right? I have 75 and I have 80. Well, 75 intercepts A to C. So if I take 75 and multiply it by 2, I should get 150. So I know that from A to C is 150. All right, from here, I also know that an entire circle is 360 degrees. So if I take 80 and 150, I can figure out the missing piece of the circle, right? So if I do 360, because the entire circle is 360, and I subtract out 150, and I subtract out 80, it should leave me with my missing arc. So let me go ahead and do this in my calculator. All right, I got 130. Let's see if that is correct. All right, and I'm up to 76. All right, good luck on this IXL, everybody. Email me with any questions or text me on Remind.